Member for Courtenay-Comox.
Well, Speaker, I'm very pleased to be able to stand today in support of Bill 36, the Gaming Control Amendment Act. It is, as has been stated earlier, a significant step to further support First Nations in their self-determination. I can't help but think about the issue around equity and fairness when we have brought forward a world where there's been systemic oppression, that we have systems in place that have not allowed communities to grow and to prosper based on how they're able to create economic opportunities. And this is a vehicle for economic opportunities. In my own community, the Comox First Nations has 3 different reserves, and they have desires and vision to see economic growth, but they've never had the opportunity to tax, to raise the funds that are often needed to gain access to other funding opportunities. And this will give them that space now to be able to really move forward with a lot of vigor on various opportunities. And it's not just infrastructure, although infrastructure is something that those of us from municipalities know very well, that residents want to see good sewer, they want to see safe water supplies. These are opportunities now that First Nations are going to be able to move on. They will, as has been listed earlier, health and wellness, safety, transportation, housing, business development, education, language, culture, training, community development, environmental protection, capacity building, fiscal management, and governance. These are all opportunities that have been rallied by First Nations for so long, and that desire has fallen on deaf ears for so many years, and I'm very proud that we are able to take this action in a very collaborative process with the direction of leadership from the BC Assembly of First Nations, the First Nations Summit, the Union of BC Indian Chiefs, through the First Nations Gaming Commission. This is not a top-down approach. This is what is being asked for. It's not unlike the Union of BC Municipalities that gets federal funding that is then distributed to local governments. Instead of First Nations going to this government to seek funds, it is going to be amongst the people of the First Nations who are handling their own funds. This is British Columbia finally joining along with 5 other provinces to do what's right, to find a way to provide the funds for First Nations in their road to self-determination. I think that when you have an opportunity to do this kind of revenue sharing, there's questions around, we've heard today, around fairness, and absolutely the Minister of Indigenous Relations and Reconciliation made the point that revenue sharing continues and is not in jeopardy. Revenue sharing with local governments, including First Nations who host gaming facilities. Courtenay is one of those communities. They're not affected, nor are community organizations and health services that already get gaming revenues. This is an opportunity for all of us to work together to help build a prosperous British Columbia for all people. And I think at that, I'm going to stop now. I'm just so very proud that we are moving forward on a request that has been long-standing, and that it has been developed in a very fair process in a collaborative way. And I look forward to seeing the fruits of this now soon to be. I expect that when this legislation passes, to be entrenched and long-standing for 25 years. secure funding to be able to move forward and grow. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.